Hello, I am Megan Lord and welcome to season 1 of the Wedding Rooms on Air. This is a podcast that myself and Adam, the producer, have brought to you as a library and wealth of information for people who are planning their own weddings. We want to bring together creatives every week who are breathing life into the wedding industry. So follow along with us on your planning journey. Like and subscribe, and you can also purchase our ultimate planning download that takes all of the stress out of planning your own wedding. We really hope you enjoy the next episode. Hello and welcome to the Wedding Rooms on Air, the podcast that guides excited couples through their journey and gives an invaluable look behind the scenes with wedding suppliers. Today I am joined by Abby and Ella from Delapre Abbey.
Hello.
If you haven't guessed, we're talking about wedding venues today.
Yes.
That is where we're at. And also, ladies, I think it's rude not to. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're joining, hopefully our couples are sat down having one too.
Yes, definitely.
Starting their learning journey with a bang.
If they haven't, can I get one? Yeah, definitely.
So to give you ladies a little bit of an idea about what we do here, we're basically people who are self-planning their weddings, giving them some guidance, giving them a little bit of a look into suppliers and what they're getting from them, what they need to look for, what they need to avoid, these sort of things, just a helping hand. And also, let's face it, when you're planning your wedding, you want to submerge yourself.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time.
Yeah.
So first of all, we want to know about you. Tell us all about you guys and how you became to be the hosts of Delapre Abbey.
Do you want to go?
No, you go.
Okay. So I've been in weddings for about 5 years, I'd say. I did a degree in event planning and then moved to weddings. I knew weddings is what I wanted to do because I know it's going to sound really cringy, but I love love. So I think that was what got me into it.
It's a bit beautiful.
Yeah, I know. A bit beautiful. So yeah, and then in terms of Delapre Abbey, I absolutely love the Abbey, just in terms of parkland and nature and everything. So I think that's how I fell into weddings within the Abbey as well, and met Emma.
Yeah. I'm Ella. I did an events management degree in Sheffield, and I am in 2 years of full planning in my events career. I've always worked in hospitality, worked in silver service at Althorpe House since I was 16, and then came to Delapre about just over a year ago. And I love doing events because I love people and making memories and the loveliness that come from that, and the core memories that you get from experiencing lovely days with people.
It is amazing, isn't it? I mean, a lot of work goes into weddings, right? And that's something we're going to be sort of sharing with the couples. We do all, work our socks off behind the scenes, but it is also amazing to share that day with them. Like, I don't think that feeling goes away. Whenever I do a wedding, I'm still like, this is so lush that I'm
Part of this day.
Yeah. And I'm a strong believer. If you don't feel like that, you shouldn't be in the industry. Because it should, at the core of the day for everyone, should be the bride and groom's experience and the bride and groom having that perfect day that they're putting all this effort into.
Yeah.
So Delapre, can you give us a little bit of a download about, if someone's looking for a wedding venue, what are they going to receive from Delapre?
Yeah, well, Delapre is a 900-year-old abbey. It is very unique in that sense. So we have 4 core rooms that are your wedding rooms. So you'd have your ceremony, your wedding breakfast, your evening reception, and your welcome room, and then of course your bar area as well. All of those rooms are interchangeable, and you can.
I was just going to ask that. Is that flexible? That popped straight into my head as soon as you were saying it.
Very flexible. So you can choose which room you specifically want to have. Each room as your ceremony room, your wedding breakfast room.
That's great.
And then we also have our walled garden, which offers
stunning.
Yeah.
Can you get married in the walled garden?
You can have the whole celebration in the walled garden if you wanted to. It is one of the areas, but with the wedding package, you get the whole of the abbey, you get the walled garden, then you also get the cottage for a night stay as well.
Yeah.
And
can you legally get married there?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so it's not just ceremonies.
No,
It is.
legally.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. So, can you give us a few stories? Can you give us a little bit of,
Background to the Abbey's wedding.
behind the scenes, like, what actually goes on when these weddings are taking place?
Do you have any stories? Well, one of the things I could say is that we do all the setup and everything ourselves. So whatever it is that you guys would like on your wedding day, we will either set up morning of or night before, day before, to make sure it's perfect for you. Me and Abby are the ones that will be doing it for you, and then our amazing events team and also the catering team from the Orangey support that as well. In terms of stories, some of our favourite moments at weddings is the journey of the wedding cake. So transferring the wedding cake
From one place to the other.
Precious cargo.
Yeah,
massively.
so precious.
There's no going back.
No. So
It's good that that's high on your importance list.
in our cottage, you could fit a 4-tier cake, and usually it's me and Abigail transferring that from the cottage into the Abbey. And with it being a 900-year-old building, everything's a bit wonky.
Stairways, nooks and crannies.
Short steps, long steps, and creaky floorboards. So if you're trying to be quiet, you're trying to run around people that are trying to serve food, it's always
A bit hectic.
yeah,
But we always make it work.
yeah, and everyone loves watching us do it because everyone loves to crack that joke of, "Whoa, don't drop that one," kind of thing. So yeah, that's always a great story for
A
us.
slightly winced smile. No.
And then the sweat is just dripping down the forehead.
It's good. It's good. Like, it's not like you're sort of just casually wheeling it, having a chat. That's you want. If it was my cake, I'd want you to be sweating a little bit. Giving it the good half an hour.
Yeah.
To make sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah. Is that normal for? Because in my experience as a photographer, you often get with venues that they say that they have a coordinator for the day.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. And that is something I've come across with brides and grooms a lot.
Yeah.
And it's really detrimental because they're led to believe that they have a coordinator. And there might be someone who is put in that position, but it's just a member of staff, not someone who's experienced in event management. And then there's no going back. The day's happening.
Yeah.
And it's something that I have colleagues and friends who are wedding planners, and they find it really frustrating because it diminishes what they offer as a service, because the venue is saying, well, we have an on-the-day coordinator. So they're like, well, I don't need a planner then.
Yeah.
Whereas actually they don't. But it sounds like Delapre. And is that included in the price? You've got 2 people who do have degrees in event planning.
Yeah.
And from what you would... you don't often have venues that set up. So when you say we set all your stuff up, are you talking like tablescapes?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Really?
If you're not having... So if we go back to the full extent of the question,
Yeah.
we are your wedding coordinators
Yes,
at the Abbey.
from start to finish.
Yeah, inquiry all the way until we're getting you into bed at night, basically, and the next day picking up your items.
Yeah.
So we will liaise with you with any possibilities that you need, any possibilities that you need to know about us. So we have certain requirements, like we're not allowed open flames at the Abbey because it's an insurance thing.
Okay.
We don't allow for anything to be pinned or stick to the walls because of the 900 years of history. We want to preserve the Abbey as much as possible. But yeah, we will liaise with you completely. We have recommended supplies that we would supply, and we would be there from inquiry all the way to the end of the day. So yeah, we are your designated
And we'd
people.
be, like you were saying, in terms of the actual setup, even like menu cards, anything like that, we say as long as it's positioned so you know exactly what you want on that table, we will be the ones setting
So would they give you like a photograph sort of thing?
Yeah,
Just
we
give you the
always say that
boxes?
it's nice and easy. So I always say like a box per table and just take a photo, store it on your dining table.
Yeah.
Exactly how you'd lay it out, and then we can copy that photo.
Yeah.
And that is what a wedding planner would do. So that, and for me, when venues advertise that they have an event, someone who is going to run their day, this is what I would expect, or what I would think that's what the venue is offering.
Yeah.
And sadly, for a lot of brides and grooms, I don't think that's the case. It's it's a little bit of a token extra member of staff to be having an overview, and that can't work because all that stress then doesn't sit on Abby and Ella. It sits on the bride and groom. And that's what's sad. So, you know, that's brilliant that you are advertising event coordinators, and I think you're going way beyond that.
Well, I mean, we try. We love to be there for our brides and grooms, and I do think it is one of those things that I would always make sure that maybe you break down when you go to a venue and you say, can you explain exactly what they will be doing? This a wedding coordinator. There's nothing wrong with that at all, because we would be happy to explain what we would do and be there on the day like we just have. So at least the bride and groom would know.
Or to get both of us as well.
Yeah.
That then is something that they can go away and go, wow, okay, so that's already in there. So I can go away and look at, what does a wedding planner, on the day wedding planner, cost me?
Yeah.
And that's basically what you're saying is already included. And then they've got that in mind, that's within their venue hire. I mean, to give you a bit of a background on me, I'm a wedding photographer. But my favourite, a bit like, I can see the joy in you, Sue, when you're talking about the day. And that for me is partly my favourite bit, is being the bride and groom's right-hand woman on the day. And when they don't have an Abby and an Ella, that role often lands on me. I'm the one going and making sure that the bride and groom have got a glass of bubbly, and going and getting a fan for mother of the bride because she's looking a bit hot and uncomfortable, and getting granny a chair. And these are the things, the little bits that you'll be doing. Because otherwise the couple end up doing them, and they shouldn't be doing them.
No.
Well, we plan it to the extent that we shouldn't have to interact, essentially, with the couple throughout the whole day, apart from when we're getting them in their interviews and their ceremonies, and then bringing them out of it. We organise all of that part the whole day. And if we do have any issues that do arise, which, touch wood, they don't, we would liaise with the closest member of the family, so mother of the bride, father of the bride, best man, maid of honour kind of thing. So we try and make sure that all possible scenarios are covered, always, so that the bride and groom wedding couple can
just enjoy
their day.
But that's exactly when you do need you. Like when the problems do occur. And it's a bit like having insurance, isn't it? You know, it's all great if nothing goes wrong with an entire day, but as soon as you want it to be that the bride and groom have no idea that stuff went wrong.
Well, even like if they have left something, for instance, quite often at the Abbey, they will leave something in the cottage. Even stuff like that, they just need, as you say, that runner or that second person to be like, can you just quickly grab that for me because I've left it there? Of course, we're usually the ones that quickly run and get that sort of thing. So yeah.
So what would you, as we're talking about on the day, do's and don'ts, what would be your big do's and don'ts for couples who are getting married?
100% enjoy your day. Do not panic about anything. You have planned it to a T now. What will be, will be. It's going to be the best day of your lives. And just enjoy it and stick together like glue. That would be my advice, because it goes so quick. And just enjoy with your family and friends. But the main thing for me would be to just stick to each other like glue. Because I think in the planning process, there are so much that has probably arisen, and then you've got through together. This is the day to celebrate that you've actually done that. You've achieved that. It's the greatest day. It's your wedding day. So
Go on, sorry.
I was just going to say, if you drink alcohol, don't get too drunk.
You
want to remember it. You've put this money and effort. I know. That's drinking. Try not to, obviously, if you do drink alcohol, try and have a few to
absolutely,
if you want to celebrate, but remember it, because you
want to stay in it. And let's face it, if you drink too much alcohol, it will take you out of it. It'll take you to another space, and you want to
remember it as well. So I would say that I think they're two key things for the couple to have.
And it's sticking going with what you just said about sticking together. It is something to remember. Like, I often find, if you're taking the couple off, so say we're going around your beautiful wall garden to go and do some couple photography, and sometimes people can feel a bit stressed about that, because they feel like they're being taken away from the guests and away from their day. And I always say to them, don't think of it like that. Think about it as, let's bring a little glass of something and
just
20 minutes
Yeah.
where it's just you two.
Yeah.
Because you don't get that.
No.
That's what on any other portion of the day, like embrace the fact that this is why we've done this,
Yeah.
you know, and actually treasure that 20 minutes rather than, and I get what they're saying.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
And
you
I
know,
think-
that whole thing that you've planned is
And there's
behind
pressure
you
to
over
make sure
there.
that everyone's happy as well.
Yeah.
And I think that just not forget about that, because obviously they're your family and friends. But I
Yeah,
just
of
mean
course.
stick with your, you know, your loved one, stick together, make sure that, you're just doing that together. I just think sometimes, because they'll go off sometimes. And I do think just stick together. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Who's, you know, they're there for you. As long as you both are enjoying your day, that's all that matters.
That is all that matters.
Yeah.
In some practices that we try and do, if you're having a welcome drink after the ceremony, we will have that welcome drink ready, have the photographer ready,
Yes.
and then we will steal you away from everyone for 20 minutes so that you guys have that moment together.
Just
have
enjoy
those
and take
intimate-
it in.
Yeah, have that intimate moment. You've just confessed your undying love
To each other.
I do forever. You want to have that moment to just appreciate each other in that moment. So stealing them away from everyone, because as much as you love your family and friends, they do want to come in and give you those hugs and congratulations, which is completely understandable. But you want that moment for you too. So
They're like, you know, they're like the honey, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the guests are all the bees.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like sometimes you're like literally like sometimes I feel like I'm a bodyguard to like try and get them to a photograph.
Yeah.
One of the big things we're trying to do with the podcast is, so I think when you're first starting to plan your own wedding, you often get given these sort of set budgets, which I think as much as they can be a really useful tool, they're also very restrictive, because who's to say what portion of your budget, like, I mean, with photography alone, you can spend £250 on a photographer, you can spend £30,000 on a photographer. So when you've got this, if you've got £25,000 for your wedding, you should be spending this portion on this and this portion on this. I don't think, I'm sort of want this podcast to help people break that mold out a little bit and help them set down in on paper their budget, because it's about what's important to you.
Yeah.
So can you help us break down the costs on a venue? Because again, venue, it's normally very high on people's importance list and very high on the, like, proportionately in their budget.
yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the costs of being a wedding venue.
Okay, so we do, obviously within the wedding venue, you'd have the whole space completely as the couples.
Yeah.
So
you never have to...
No, never have two weddings going on at the same time. That is completely their space, outside and in. So obviously we do have the south lawn for our outdoor weddings in terms of marquees or anything like that.
Okay, so if you're having a larger wedding...
Yes, then that is an option too. As well as it, just because of that, it doesn't mean that you can't use the house. You then have the house as well for photos, or if you wanted to turn around outside, you can then also do your drinks reception inside, for instance, anything like that. So we're so unique within that. In terms of us as well, obviously wedding planners, and then all of our lovely staff, our amazing chefs, everything that they cook. We do have Hibiscus, which is a fine dining restaurant.
So Hibiscus do the catering?
It's the same chef. So because of that, we pride ourselves on that too within our venue, hire catering.
That's a bit exciting.
Yeah.
Do like a bit of hibiscus.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, it is very much, that's what we pride ourselves on, isn't it, really? And all coming together and making their special day.
Yeah.
But venue hire, did you want me to go into a bit more detail?
Yeah.
Break it down.
So venue hire wise, it's about for 2026, 6,995.
Yes.
And then we have different packages. So we are editing this.
Yeah.
But at the minute we have 4 different packages. So it starts at about £55 per person and goes up from there.
Right.
Within that 55, that's the afternoon tea.
Afternoon tea.
And they get Prosecco afterwards, after they've done their ceremony. They also get it for a toast drink. And then afternoon tea is their wedding breakfast. And that starts at 55, all the way up to 125 package, which is the whole shebang.
The whole shebang.
Where it's a
The whole
three-course dinner.
hibiscus shebang.
Yeah, basically.
Basically, yeah.
Wedding breakfast.
Can I have a hibiscus tasting menu for that price? Is that allowed?
Yeah. Yeah, you know.
We actually could.
yeah.
We actually could.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be like canapes, evening
Yes.
dinner. That would be your.
I really, now I'm going to speak to this camera now, because now I know that Hibiscus do your catering. I really want you to book me as your
Yeah.
wedding photographer. Yes, I would like to.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it all comes from
Yeah.
the same kitchen, same executive head chef. So
Yeah.
we do pride ourselves massively on that.
So I don't know if this is like a slightly probing question, but I'm just trying to think of myself if I'm the bride and groom. So obviously, if I've booked the venue dry hire and then I'm bringing in my own caterers, I'm doing everything myself, then, you know, the venue is made X amount. But say I'm doing the venue hire and I've got 80 people and I'm doing the full shebang, 150 a head. Now, obviously, the venue is now making a lot more money.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking as a bride and groom, I'm asking, why am I paying the same venue hire as a person who's doing the dry hire?
It's not the same price.
Right.
So we would do a dry hire price.
Yeah.
Set at a certain amount. So our largest banqueting room is 80 banqueting. So we would set it at that. And then any additional guests would be a further price, essentially. But that depends on what catering you're going for, whether you're having wedding breakfast, canapes and evening dinner, whether you're using us at all. Is
Okay, so they would still be almost like a corkage price
essentially,
Yes,
yeah.
per guest.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that is bespoke because of certain requirements that people want. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, that answers my question, because I'm just with this podcast, I'm trying to think as if I'm booking you
Yeah.
and what I'd want to ask. And almost it's a bit like if I'm going to the shop and I'm coming out with like 20 bags and I'm investing that much into you, I want a little bit more for my money.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's fair enough, isn't it? That couples would think like that.
We do pride ourselves massively on, if you are asking for external catering, we ask, well, what is it that you're looking to go for? Because if you're looking to go for really funky cheese toasties and you want loads of different ingredients, etc., we can get that bespoke price from our kitchen, because we do all of our catering in-house. We are able to mould our menu to do that.
Would you price match?
Yes, definitely.
Would you consider? So if they've gone to an external, because sometimes I do think that people presume that it's going to be more expensive to have the in-house caterer, especially if they're the quality of Hibiscus.
Yeah,
So they presume that they're going to be able to get it a lot cheaper elsewhere. Is that not always the case? So if I turn around and say, look, I found someone who's going to do a fish and chip van at X amount a head.
Yeah.
Can
Well,
you,
yeah,
you know?
We definitely try.
Yeah, we definitely try. I think it's one of those things we just have to.
Yeah, that's an executive head chef decision, though.
Yeah.
And it's keeping the conversation going.
Yeah. Communication is everything, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think that one of the things that you guys were discussing earlier before we were on air was about how important it is to have a relationship with couples, which I think comes from your event planning.
Yes.
You know, tell us a little bit about that and how I feel exactly the same. Tell us a bit about how that translates onto someone's wedding day.
I think just developing that relationship with especially us, with our couples, clients, that sort of thing. And then on the day, I don't know, for me, I think it's always the first dance. When we're stood there, we've just done the cake, we've brought it out. Yeah. It's going off topic a little bit. But in terms of us just standing at the side, watching them do a first dance, I'm like, oh, we've actually done it. This is another wedding that we're like, oh, we're gorgeous. We're getting teary-eyed. And I think developing that relationship, you're going to be meeting with the venue, going through everything operational that you need to make sure that you can just pass it over to them, which is, for instance, me and Ella at Delapre. Developing that relationship is a big thing.
Yeah, and having that relationship with your event planner adds a lot of trust to who you're putting your special day into. So being able to have some banter and being able to ask any question, so like no question's a silly question, and we will answer it to the best of our abilities, and if you can't answer it right in that moment, we'll go away,
get back,
do our own research and then get back to you as soon as possibly can. So having that trust, balance, communication and connection is key, because at the end of the day, if you've not got a connection with your event planner and they're stood in your first dance room and they've got a tear shedding down their eye, you're thinking a bit like, oh, yeah, and they just really emotional. Trying to do my first dance here kind of thing. Because you've got that connection and they are enjoying it so much, you know that you've invested the right time into them.
It's essentially like if you are getting married and you've got yourself a wedding planner, like a full wedding planner, they've spent years and have so much experience in building relationships with suppliers and putting together a team. They're almost like the coach of the wedding, aren't they? And they're putting together a team that are going to work well together. So if you're planning your own wedding, you're becoming that coach. And I think it's something people underestimate, how important it is to like your wedding suppliers.
Yes.
And get on with them.
Yes.
So that you get that warm feeling when, you know, I mean, most importantly, people like yourselves who are there all day, and myself and Adam, hi Adam, behind the camera, because we're with you all day. So you want to have that like relaxed feeling with them. But equally, if it's the cake, and you've had a horrible relationship with someone doing your cake, then when people are coming up to you and saying, oh, that amazing cake, you're going to be thinking, yeah, well, it cost me enough. Like, you know, and you'll think of every horrible email and every stressful thing leading up to it. Whereas if you have a wonderful relationship with that cake supplier and you've enjoyed the journey with them, you're looking at it going, the joy that is filling me with is worth every penny, and I can see every penny of talent that's gone into it.
Because they've gone above and beyond for you.
Exactly.
They don't have to to the day.
I think £100 spent on a supplier where it's gone like that trust isn't there and it's all gone badly is so like different to then you could spend £800 on the same supplier and they give you everything that they can, and they make it a wonderful experience.
Definitely.
That will feel more value.
It's
far more value.
Full holistic approach to it.
It is. And I think if you're not considering the couple's enjoyment of the day at the core, then maybe you shouldn't be in this industry. Go, Leanne.
Definitely.
So what about, okay, I've got a question for you, and I am going to ask everyone this question on this podcast. So someone, bride and groom, live in Northampton, they cannot book Delapre because they need, I don't know, they need May 4th, and that was the day that Aunt Bessie got married. So it has to be May 4th, and it has to be next year, and you're already booked. So you're now out of the question. For what would you advise them, like to go and find another venue in Northampton? What would be the things that you would want them, that you do well, that you'd want them to look for, because it will help their day? And what are the red flags? What would you be like, if they're doing that, I would be concerned? No pressure.
I would say that inquiry to when we put you into bed, even if they're not necessarily your full wedding planner and they are your main client contact at that venue, they will liaise with you, because at the end of the day they don't want to have a stressful day not knowing what's going on. They want to make sure that your experience is great. So having that someone that is there for the whole time period, I think, is massive.
And being able to break that down, so double checking with the venue, there's nothing wrong with that in terms of, oh, it says that there's a wedding coordinator on the day. Can you explain what they
exactly? Yeah.
Because we would be more than happy to break down what we do on the day.
Do you think it'd be rude to ask what is their experience, what is their background?
No, definitely. Because it's one of those things that we don't mind talking about. So why wouldn't anyone else? And if they do, then that fair enough. But
then there's a red flag.
But I think also in terms of flexibility, so how flexible are they with their different options? Does the venue suit you? Can you go outdoors? Can you go indoors? How many people can you have? So all these things, I know it seems so basic, but obviously at Delapre we can do all of those things and jazz it up a bit and be like, oh, well, actually, if you don't want to be inside, we've got this option. So I think looking for that as well, that's what I'd personally be looking for too. So it fits any option that's in my head, or if I have a new idea, if I fit something else, I see something on Instagram.
Absolutely.
And I decide, actually, no, but I want this. can I have that?
Yeah, can we change it?
Can we change
Absolutely.
it?
Yes, definitely.
We'd just say, yeah, of course, but this is what you'd have to do.
And how available your wedding planner is for you. So we, in our a lot of inquiries that we get, they say, can we actually see a few different table setups of what you provide, and we will set those tables up on an evening or a daytime or a weekend, whenever is suitable.
Because they're trying to, they're trying to visualise and wrap their brains around what it would look like.
Yeah, you hope that people are doing this once over, which obviously isn't the case for everyone, but they want to be able to see what different options that they can have, what different cutlery we've got, what different glasses we've got, what different tableware we've got.
And you've got all that, and does that come in the price?
Yeah, tables, linen.
That's an additional dry hire cost.
Yeah,
you know, all of that. Like if you're doing it yourself.
Yeah, so if you're going with our catering, all of the wine, the cutlery, the cups, napkins, that all comes in it.
Yeah.
But if you're just doing the venue hire, then we do provide tables, chairs, and linen for the tables.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and I mean that's even an extra, because quite often when it's dry hire, that's it.
Yeah.
Tables, everything is all your responsibility, and people do. And this is what I want people to get from this, so that they can go away and go, right, what suits me. So if you're like, great, dry hire, but now I need to look, okay, but I'll need to get tables, I'll need to get this, I'll need to get that, I'll need to get this. So let me go and compare those prices so I can make an informed decision about actually, am I better off taking the package or no, actually I can go away. And because it depends what you want, doesn't it? You know, but just having that knowledge so that you can make an informed decision, I think is really, really important.
Yeah.
I am looking to you, our followers, to help us. We are set out on a very exciting new project, and we need your help to find a very deserving couple. The Wedding Rooms podcast has always been about trying to help couples, help them plan their weddings, and this is a massive extension of that. We have managed to find and give away an entire wedding day. I'm talking venue, DJ, videographer, photographer, details, catering, and so much more. This is all being given, and we want to give it to someone who is truly deserving. So we are looking for your nominations. We want to hear about people who really deserve this break, and it could be about work that they're doing in the community. It could be about someone who has had a really tough time in life, and now this is something that they just deserve to be given. The most key thing and factor is that it needs to be a secret nomination. We do not want hundreds of people out there who are very deserving disappointed because they didn't win. So we are looking for you to secretly nominate friends, family, colleagues, people in your life that would benefit from this massive, massive, massive gift. Send your nominations to megan@theweddingrooms.uk. All you need to include is your name, the person you're nominating, why you're nominating them, and a way for us to get in touch with you, and we will get back in touch. If you don't know anyone that you wish to nominate, please share this podcast. Let's spread this around. Let's find someone and make a magical, magical dream come true for them.
Would you consider it a red flag if a venue was very sort of fixed on what this is? Like, I don't like hear wedding suppliers say, this is how I do it. Like, this is how it is, sort of thing. And also the whole thing of, I don't want to say false advertising, because that sounds like harsh or judgmental, and but that's not what we're here to do. No. But I did have a bride not that long ago who the wedding venue had said that they had an on-the-day coordinator. Yeah. Then their wedding sort of coordinator for the venue had actually left. No one had been put into the role yet, so there was just a member of staff, bar staff, that was left to run the day, which I feel like is very unfair on that member of staff, because just overseeing the day, I mean, you know, you guys do, and you've done degrees in it. There's more than just watching a day happen.
A lot of money to get to
So I mean, maybe would those both be red flags, like promising stuff that actually you're not delivering,
I wouldn't say red flags, but I would say in terms of double check with the venue, just like we said earlier, in terms of being really open and communicating with the venue, stating, can you just explain what the wedding coordinator will be doing? Can you guarantee that they'll be there on the day? They might say they have these certain, like as you were saying, this is the way we do it.
Yeah.
Just question that a bit more. So it's not a red flag, but in terms of, is this because it runs like clockwork that way? Can I not add this in? Or and if not, then fair enough, and that venue's probably not for you.
Yeah.
But and maybe, for instance, we are very flexible because we can be.
Yes.
In terms of that.
So there might be reasons, not necessarily a red flag, there might be reasons that they're less flexible.
Yeah.
But that could still suit your wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just to add on, sorry, you would hope that the venue that you put the time and the effort and the money into would communicate
Definitely.
if someone had left.
Yeah.
This is the person that is going to be your coordinator on the day.
Yeah.
They are our bar staff member, but they've had a full detailed brief. Would you like to have a meeting with them beforehand so that
To go
we can go through everything?
Yeah.
You'd hope that communication would be there, so it doesn't necessarily rely on the couple to reach out and find that information.
No, definitely. Yeah.
So not necessarily a red flag, but you just hope that there's necessary procedures put in place to make sure that it does go smoothly.
Yeah.
And it's very much doing this now so that you're not doing it after the fact, because actually for her, she trusted that they were going to deliver this on the day coordinator. They didn't. And she had a wonderful day. I always say to bride and grooms, don't worry if stuff goes wrong on your day, because it's your day.
Yeah.
And you're going to love it.
And it will get fixed.
Yeah, and it's not a problem. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't detrimental to her day, but equally there was a lot of things that landed on her plate, and she ended up sorting because that person wasn't in place.
No.
Yeah.
And I did say to her, like, you know, have a conversation with the venue, because maybe they should be looking at compensating you for what the cost of an on-the-day coordinator would have been.
Yeah.
So that's why it's so important. And do you know what? It always comes back, these conversations always come back to what we said before, and it's relationships.
Yeah.
Yes, communication.
No, it is.
Relationships with your suppliers,
Yeah.
getting on with them so that they are invested in you.
Yeah.
You know, you're invested in them, both financially and with trust.
Yeah.
But if you have a good relationship and they're worth their salt, they're going to be invested in you as well.
Yeah, definitely a team to make your dream day happen. Like,
Yes.
Yes, very much.
exactly.
Abbey from the Abbey.
Yeah. Oh no,
It had to be done.
Yeah.
It had to be done.
Yeah.
I bet it is. I bet it is. It's been sat in my brain ever since you came in, Abby.
Every time Abby answers the phone, oh yes, Abby from the Abbey.
Yeah. Okay. After that little light moment, let's talk money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about conflicting, prices? We touched a little bit on it earlier. So you've got your dry hire and then you've got your package prices. Now, venues, some do high venue hire costs and lower packages. Some do lower venue costs and higher packages. Can you talk us a little bit about, people who are competing around you in Northampton?
Yeah.
What should people expect? Like, I'm planning my wedding. I'm looking for a beautiful venue, but I've got no idea whether I should be spending, £1,000 on venue hire or £16,000 on venue hire, because the variety is unbelievable. So can you break it down a little bit for us?
Yeah, well, as you say, the variety is
unbelievable.
So there's so many different routes that you go down. But if we're going off the basis of strictly just venue hire, we're looking at, I guess, 3 core venues. So we're looking at a historic house, a manor house, and a barn conversion, essentially. I would
Would you put marquee in there as well? Or do we think that's another
another option. With your marquee, you've got to decide, if I'm basing it off of Delapre, you're looking at that venue that you're still hiring from, and then also your marquee costs. So there's kind of 2 sort of prices that come into it for us, but we work that in together, and then it depends on other venues and what they're looking at, whether it is just the marquee and they wrap that into one with the venue hire and the marquee, and whether you get all your tables and chairs and crockery, etc. in it. Barn conversions, that is your venue. You've got everything in it like you do at the Abbey. Obviously, we have loads of different courses that you could go down. I would probably say that that's your mid-range of a price, and I'd say that we would sit just slightly higher of that because we are a historic venue. We do have a fine dining restaurant where all of our food comes out of, and full day wedding planners. Whereas a manor house, you're looking at that real rich history that's still within the grounds. So you've got lots of different art pieces, furniture that is detrimental to that history of that house or manor, and that need to be protected. So it's a very, I guess, high class venue that you could go for. So there's kind of your journey, I'd say, in your venues. But obviously it really depends on the demographic, the location. So it is such a complicated route to go down.
And that's what I mean about these sort of printed out like budget things that like venue X amount, like you know,
you can't put a price because it also depends on yourself, like what you're wanting. You might get for an absolute, you know, that's on that budget, oh yeah, £2,000, because you're just getting that venue and then you've got to add everything to it. But that is your dream venue, that's just your, you know, it could just be a field, but you're going to add everything to it. So it really depends.
Because you could be paying £1,000 just for a field, but then have to put your marquee, get rent tables and chairs, rent staff, rent bar.
You're going I was going to say, when you were listing like the different ideas of wedding venues, like, let's face it, you can get married wherever you want. You want to get married on the top of a mountain, you do it. You want to get married in a high air balloon, you do it. Like, you do you. But then I guess maybe from a venue's point of view, if you're getting married somewhere that is unconventional or is dry hire or is not used to like doing weddings, maybe then that's when you've got to have in your head, I need an Abby and an Ella, you know, because you need to put that money into that so that there's no stress on you.
You've got a smooth journey.
Absolutely. So do whatever you want, but maybe if you're going somewhere that's totally left field, just always think, I need an on the day planner then, and I need to put that into my budget so that I have that person who has the wedding brain running however I want it. I mean, I guess you guys get more unconventional weddings as well, because you are a venue that does music festivals and you know, so if I want to come to you and I want to be like, oh, I came to like this really crazy festival here the other week, because I've been to some great afternoons and days at Delapre, and it's always different. You know,
every day is different for us. It's great.
I love the little skiing village that you guys do in the winter. That's proper cute. Like, it takes me back. Like, I feel like I want to arrive in my snowball boots and like get on the table and start singing Avicii really loud.
You should.
Definitely.
Maybe I will.
Come join you.
Okay.
Just let us know when.
We'll do a promo. At Delapre. So do you think that gives you a bit of an edge that you like aren't pure wedding?
I agree.
I think it makes it unique.
We completely see every event that we do from start to finish. So from our October fest, from our spectacular Halloween days, our Easter extravaganza, our Christmas fair, our Sanders Grotto as public events, then we have music festivals, then we have experience afternoon teas, then we have private corporate events, private birthdays, murder mysteries, theatre performances. We literally do everything under the sun, and if we haven't done it and someone wants to do it, we will find a way to do it, basically.
So you guys must have some lovely stories for us then. Like, come on, there's a lot. You're just listing it off there.
Oh, well, a lot of the events that we do get to do, if they're obviously 99% of the time always planned the way that we want them, we do get to sometimes take a step back and enjoy them. A lot of our music festivals and our public events, we can just watch everyone having a lovely time. We rely a lot on volunteers as our support in every aspect of the Abbey, whether it's maintenance, catering, or even admin events. They are a massive support in our system, and when we have them on site and our catering team, we are able to then see everything and experience such a beautiful day for people, whether it is weddings, etc.
So all these beautiful weddings that you've seen,
come
on.
Up to you, Abby.
We want a few stories. This is a wedding podcast, ladies.
Okay, so stories in terms of, I kind of want to talk about, so a wedding.
Obviously,
always,
respectfully, we
Yeah,
respect
yeah, no,
the
definitely.
privacy of all of our brides
Yes.
and grooms.
No, in my mind, that sticks in my mind is different dresses that I've seen. So
I love the different dresses.
100%. And we get so many different ones, don't we?
do,
We were
yeah.
just saying before we started this that in terms of like floral dresses, so it's not just white anymore.
No.
All sorts. And then also what sticks in my mind is a black dress. It was an absolute gorgeous ball gown, but it was black, stunning. And then I think just different stories for me are the days. I think each day has just been so amazing and so different.
Yeah.
Decoration wise, there was one where roses were coming down from the ceiling.
Oh, no way.
It was amazing.
Proper fairy tale.
Yeah, and there was also, actually thinking about it now, like Tangled inspired. So all the colours were like lilac, purple, and there was lanterns everywhere. So like Tangled. But yeah, I think, and then also each day, so some fusing cultures together, which I absolutely love.
Yes.
And that sort of thing. So and is it the Indian drums I love?
Yes. Yeah.
I did a festival wedding really recently.
Yeah.
You guys, I imagine, like, is that? Do you think that's a trend at the minute? Is there any industry trends that you're seeing that are going on?
Yeah, I do think one of those non-traditional wedding dresses, gowns, suits, etc., that is definitely more in that way. So we've seen some lovely floral based dresses, some non-traditional short dresses, really lovely different experiences in that. And then also festival style weddings, a marquee people love because they are in their bubble essentially, and they have everything in that one area, and they don't have
I got
to move
married.
from it.
I had a marquee wedding.
Yeah.
Did you?
And it is
Yeah.
it's that food truck style evening dinner. It's that band outside, and then also your DJ and the lovely warm lighting and all the different festoons and decorations.
gorgeous.
People are loving the festival. And we've done one this year,
we've
which
done-
was
yeah, in May,
amazing. So they got married in the walled garden.
Oh, did
and
they?
then transferred over to the marquee on the South Lawns, and it was decked out to be a full festival essentially.
And have you seen any trends in 2025 that you're like, oh, okay, I can see that like all weddings are having that, or do you find it's not like that?
One of my personal favourites is the telephone box voice memos. That is
Yes,
my favourite.
I've got one of those that I hire out, the audio guest books. Yeah,
Brilliant.
they're so
Yeah,
cool.
they are. They're lovely.
Because if you've had a loved one at your wedding and then they've passed and you don't have any memory from them,
Having their voice.
hearing their voices, that's
On another level.
really precious.
Yeah.
It is, and it's. Do you know what people do use interactive guest books much more, don't you find?
Yeah.
The guest books just sat there, and also I think that the messages that they leave, whether it's a video one or it is something that's writing, but it's something a bit different, catches their attention, their imagination, because it's
Especially when alcohol's involved.
Oh, honestly, towards the end, they start off really heartfelt, and then because I obviously have to listen to a couple at the beginning to make sure everything's okay, and then a few at the end before I transfer them over, and always at the end they're hysterical. And I'm yet to have a set of audios that I've sent across where towards the end someone hasn't pretended they're ordering a takeaway. Do you know what that's about? Always, there's always someone saying, "Yeah, can I have like a lambuna?"
I love it. And not to give all of our tips and tricks away, we love leaving those little messages.
Yeah, we do.
We love leaving those photos for them to be like, they were A-class on that.
Yeah.
So lovely that they've made that mark on our wedding day.
That's
for
wonderful.
us. So that's something that we love.
Yeah, we love
out.
Yeah.
So, what's the future? Do you think, like for Delapre, for the industry? Where do you see things going?
Has it changed? On this?
I think it's changed a lot over the last few years.
I have a feeling we'll have similar but also slightly different opinions on this. So you go first.
Well, I mean, in terms of Delapre, we do so many different things. So I think for me, building the weddings even more so. But I don't know, in terms of the future, just more and more events, basically.
Yeah,
we do.
like us
Yeah, I was
today.
going to say we do a lot.
I think that weddings are such a sacred thing for a lot of people that are getting married. So the traditional aspect of weddings will always stay to an extent, but the actual route of which they go down, what food they're having, what decoration they're having, will always be something that changes. I mean, look at bridesmaids' dresses over the past 10 years.
Yeah,
they've changed massively.
Yeah.
But then everything always does circle back round. But I think that core trends of having your photos with your wedding guests, having a wedding breakfast will still be popular. But in terms of trends that we've had from inquiries and people booking is twilight weddings. So people having their ceremony and getting married a lot later in the day, and then just having an evening party rather than the full day shebang.
Yeah,
it is a really long day. Like you were there. Some people are in makeup and hair from 6 a.m. all the way until 6 a.m. the next day, depending on how much they want to party. So twilight weddings are, I think, are becoming quite popular for
that's interesting.
Potentially 2026, which I think is really cool.
Well, that, especially as a venue, is a really interesting aspect then, because if it's a twilight wedding and they're not there as much, there would be that thought process in their head that it would be cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's a Saturday in August.
Yeah.
Whether someone is there all day or just in the evening, you're still only making the same amount of money. And that again would be interesting for me, because they'll be like, well, I don't need you till 6. Like, yeah, but if it's a Saturday, then I can't do another wedding. So that's something that like couples need to understand, that you know, if you only need your photographer for a few hours, you're not going to get them on a Saturday at a discounted price. You might get them on a Thursday at a discounted price, but not on a Saturday, because they're going to turn down a full price wedding to do your wedding. And that will be same
the
for you guys.
Very similar.
highly likely stay the same.
I guess your catering costings would go down. So there would be savings there.
An evening buffet.
Everyone's ceremony, canapes straight afterwards, champagne service, and then just an evening buffet, barbecue. Then
earlier you were telling us your stories, which were very lovely.
Thank you.
And have you got any sort of favourite moments, things that have sort of stood out for you?
I think for me, it is just literally every wedding. I think we, as well as our team, are amazing. The team are amazing. The volunteers are amazing. So when we all come together and make that happen, I think that is my favourite moment at the end of every event. And
I think because we aren't through and through, we do have that real connection with that wedding couple, because we have more time to spend with them rather than we can do weddings back to back, and we do have the capacity to do it, but we don't necessarily do that because it doesn't always
fit with our schedules anyway, in terms of the calendar at Delapre.
Well, I was going to say, you do have a lot of big public events on at Delapre, don't you?
It's not very often that a wedding couple want to have a music festival outside and then it's the Abbey, which they are more than welcome to do.
Absolutely.
Like, if they wanted to come and have their ceremony and then go and
join in with
or something like that afterwards.
Could they do that?
Yeah, definitely. We'd just have to liaise with the correct people. But if they wanted to have their ceremony, have canapes and champagne service, and then go over to Bike Street and just experience that for the rest of the evening.
So what if you had to, I'm trying to think about what the festival was called in the summer, beginning of the summer.
Live?
Yeah. If I wanted to book, have my wedding, have my wedding breakfast and everything, have my food, and then basically just walk out into the festival and just use all that entertainment as my evening entertainment. Could you do that?
Yeah, definitely. We just have to make sure that we obviously can't promise anything.
We'd have to liaise.
Yeah, we'd have to liaise with all of our contacts. But if that's what
would be both cool and very random. Like,
and
to be in your wedding dress, to be like the whole of Northampton, the ultimate VIP.
At the front of the stage,
They get you up on stage.
There's a few things we can't promise. We can't promise that you would be the only bride there on that day because it is a public event. Another bride might get married at the Guildhall and then want to come to summertime afterwards and just experience. And also we can't promise that it would happen. So the time scale of everything, we would liaise with the people that we need to, but we can't say that, yes, you've had your show round on the Monday, you've said yes on the Wednesday to booking, and we've contracted, then deposit's been paid. It may take a longer time scale to actually put all those things into fruition and make them correct. So the time scale is different, and et cetera, basically.
So what about, say I've booked, I want to book my wedding on Saturday, 2nd of August, 2027.
Yeah.
But now a big act wants to do Summer Live on the 2nd of August, 2027.
Yep.
That's obviously awkward for you guys. Who gets moved? Like, if I've booked it and I'm having a marquee on the lawns, will my wedding day get moved if something public needs to go on that day?
If we can't promise anything, basically.
But
So
in terms of if there was nothing booked that day,
yeah, if say you're inquiring and in the period of inquiring we've had this.
No, I mean, I've booked it.
Yeah.
I've paid my deposit, but it's 2027. Would a public event trump my wedding booking?
no, not in terms of trumpet. We wouldn't then move you.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm asking.
We wouldn't move you unless you wanted to be moved, but I'm sorry, I don't think we can talk on this topic because we would go to our line manager for this.
Right, okay.
What situation? But ideally, we would never book anything on your wedding day.
So if something was booked in, we would never move them.
Yeah.
And we would never, but we'd have to liaise with the right people. So double check with the bride and groom.
Yeah.
We've got this event. Would you want it? If they said no, be like, okay, fine.
Yeah, we would.
Oh, no, but that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm
But
asking.
we can often do public events at the same time as a wedding. If
Yeah.
they're happy with that. Otherwise, if they were already booked, no, we
But
would
that's
never move
amazing.
them.
That's what I'm
Okay.
asking. And that shows
see.
me
Yeah,
when I'm booking
Yeah.
that I am the most important thing because that's my wedding day.
Yeah.
If I don't want something else to be there on that wedding day, then
and
it
if you
won't.
booked, you'd want to make sure that nothing, yes, no, we would never move or cancel.
Yeah, and that I think is huge because obviously this is just little old me and my wedding day, and it's the most important thing to me.
Yeah.
But you know, if you're trying to liaise for a summer weekend, all these different bands, all these different things, different stages, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So I almost, as I was asking that question, was expecting you to say, well, it is in the contract that if we have to move you, we can.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, and also you need to accept that an event might be on the same day as you. So the fact that you turn around and say, no, unless you're happy for it to be, not at all, I think that's huge.
However, we are council grounds, so we can't completely control the wider parkland.
Yeah, of course. You can't be like, no, they can't meet up for their annual, poodle walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go home poodles.
Yeah.
But, you know. It's that, I think, but then if you're getting married, something like that, that's what you would expect.
Yeah, and we liaise with the client in that we do say that we can't completely close off the grounds to wider public, etc. So that's just in
No, of course you can't, you know.
and that's in that first initial meeting that we have that we
You'd understand that before you even talk
Yeah.
about money and everything like that.
Yeah.
Is the stress of planning your own wedding overtaking the joy of planning your own wedding? In an ideal world, we would all have a wedding planner, but that is not always possible. So what we've done is created a digital download with an extensive set of tools packaged into an effective PDF, all in one place. You have spreadsheets, budgeting tools, trackers, pie charts, so that you can follow along the journey, see where your money is going, see what has been organised and what is still to be done, helping you with all the organisational stresses. Then you have a whole set of tips for a stress-free wedding. These have come from inside intel from industry suppliers to give you help, to give you some knowledge as you go along your journey and on the day. It also has a whole set of templates. Now, these are on a Canva, a free Canva account, so there's nothing that you need to sign up for. That as you click on the links, you can handle your stationery, your invites, your save the dates, your on the day signs. You can handle hen party games. Everything can have the colours changed, the fonts changed. You can do all of that. All the hard work has been done and laid down so that you can go ahead and get creative. And as you go through this journey, if you decide that you want that little bit more help and that little bit more support, you can pay for us at the Wedding Rooms to do all the changes for you. This is something that takes all of the pressure out of planning your own wedding and is a neat little package. as a subscriber of season 1 of The Wedding Rooms on Air, you can currently get the download for £67. So either go directly to the website www.thewedingrooms.uk/buy, or click the link below to get your download today.
Okay, ladies, well, I genuinely believe we could just sit here and chat about weddings all
definitely.
day long,
Yeah.
but I think we're probably already over the hour.
Yeah.
So it's been so lovely having you all in. Can you let everyone know if they've been listening to this and they're like, I'm truly interested in Delapre as a venue?
Yeah.
How do they get in contact with you?
Events@delapre.org.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's easy.
Yeah,
to
but you can just go on our website. You can see everything that we do, and then there's also all the different connections.
So events plural, events@delapre.org.
Abbey. Delapre Abbey.
Oh,
Yeah.
What did I say?
Delapre.
Did I?
Did.
Sorry.
Hella, you forgot about Abby.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Events@delapreabbey.org.
Yeah.
Abby with an E?
EY.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
ABBEY.
EY.
Yeah. These are things to,
Sorry, just so involved in.
we know, you're just so invested.
Yeah.
Too excited.
Yeah,
Too excited.
but thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It's been lovely.
Yeah.
It's been really, really great. And thank you everyone for joining us here at the Wedding Rooms on air. And we look forward to helping you plan the next bit of your wedding. See you soon.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. This podcast is brought to you by myself, Megan, from The Wedding Rooms, and Adam Rust of Influence Productions. You can find out more about us in the bio or on the links below. But to sum it up, we are basically a wedding photographer and wedding videographer who enjoyed being their right-hand man and woman to their couples to such an extent that we've decided to go away and make a podcast for them. So thank you for being with us, and thank you for making us part of your journey. And we hope to see you on the next episode.